Good morning, Blues. Welcome back to another video. It's Stephen here on the day of the derby. Oh, I don't like derby day anyway, but today in particular, it's sort of taking me back to feeling like a kid again, where we go into these games in a terrible run of form, not a particularly good side, and anxious and a bit of a mess. It's weird because for the past 10 years, basically, since everything turned around, since that famous 6-1 day, we've been basically, in my head, sort of favourites for more or less every single derby. Of course, I've had my anxiety every now and then because that's what derbies do to you. But largely, I've been pretty confident that City are the better side and the favourites for an awful long time. I still feel like City at their very best, of course, are a much better side than Man United. But given the current context of where City are right now, it's weird going into this game feeling, I guess, not that optimistic. I'm not. I mean, what is it? 7 losses in the last 10 games, which is absurd when you think about it. Yeah, 2 draws during that Palace and a Feyenoord. Was it Feyenoord draw? Yeah, it was, wasn't it? And then, of course, 1 win against Nottingham Forest. The run of form is absolutely terrible. There's no denying right now where City are at. And there's no denying that this game, it feels like, for the sake of our sanity, just win. It feels like a must-win for me. It probably isn't a must-win, but it feels like we have to find a way to do it. Because I can't really probably take the internet if City don't win. There could be an absolute holy head loss on the internet and in the world if City don't have a bad result today against Man United. We don't need it. We absolutely don't, because I can't even bear to think about it right now. I already feel the stress rising in my head anyway. Do, of course, let me know. Trash versus garbage, says Patrick in the chat. It's not even far off, unfortunately. At least we're like, I mean, one of us is garbage, one of us is trash. But at least right now, we know it's temporary for City. At some point, it should turn around. You would think anyway. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Who knows? Anyway, do let us know in the comments your predictions for today. I will be live later on from my watch along over on bigup.com/esteemed company. Join me there in 6 hours basically for the game. I'm looking forward to it. It's free to sign up. Don't worry, you don't have to pay anything or anything like that. There's no referral codes. Just click the link in the description and join me later there for the watch along. I'll do a live team news reaction as well later on before the game, before we go live. I also want to draw attention to today's sponsor on the video. Do you want to win a signed and framed Josko Vardiel? Josko Vardiel. Josko Vardiel. That's what I sing, Josko. No one else sings that. Josko Vardiel, Josko. Anyway, he's not in his best form right now, but he's still a phenomenal player. He's had a cracking start to life at Manchester City. And something tells me an awful lot that a signed and framed Josko Vardiel shirt in the year of 2024 could be worth something pretty special several years from now if he goes on to fulfill his potential, which I think he will do. I think he's a quality player. £3.95 to enter. Only 21 tickets sold out of 225, so the odds are very good right now if you want to click the link in the description below. There are other framed prizes to win, including Ake and Akanji shirts there, if you choose the number 66. And that number comes out, you can also win the Ake shirt and also the Vardiel shirt. That's how it works. So yeah, good luck if you enter. Click the link in the description below. Football prizes is all totally legit, don't worry. Basically a raffle. And loads of City fans who follow me have already won prizes from football prizes. So it's very, 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 very cool. So let's go over to the quotes from Guardiola. Guardiola has had a lot to say. Mainly about, he's talked a lot about the fitness again, the issues, where he's at. He's been very philosophical, so I don't really know where to go because we'd be here for about half an hour chatting about all the quotes from Guardiola because he talks an awful lot. On Friday and the embargoed quotes last night, he was very philosophical and he was very kind of sort of pragmatic and I would say sort of dogged as well in a good way. Like he was defending his team and he was defending his stats and like. Good on him for doing that. He's got to be confident at some point. And he said, what I feel right now is like I felt in the last 3 weeks, 1 month in every press conference. I'm really pleased with the way we played and have certain authority from my career in the titles that we won that I know definitely when we were playing good or not good. We have to shoot more, yes. We have to defend better, yes. We have to avoid mistakes, yes. In both sides, yes. But the game is there. Except the Liverpool game, Bournemouth game, the rest of the games we were there. We were not consistent for 90 minutes and we moved forward, keep working. And I know exactly what he's getting at. I know exactly what he's getting at. He's not saying everything's perfect. He's not saying we aren't making mistakes. He's not saying we aren't finishing chances. We need to defend better. What he's saying is that despite everything, the players are still attempting to do what he asks. They're still attempting to dominate play. They're still attempting to play the patterns. It's just not working perfectly. And Guardiola is smart enough, experienced enough, and has the authority, as you just said, to know exactly when the players are trying to respond to him and if there are mitigating circumstances. And I guess he feels right now that the players are trying, so he can't get too angry at him. He'll get frustrated for the mistakes, but they understand that these players, he'll know better than anyone that his players are tired, that his players need options, that his players are struggling right now and suffering. And sometimes when you're suffering, you don't need another slap in the face. Sometimes you need support, and that's what he's getting at here. And I absolutely get it. And I know where he's coming from. I do think there are moments where every now and then where we do play well within those games and we are trying the right things. It's just not working yet. And I think he's right to say that. The problems are the bad moments. It's not you. It's the situation. It's not you. You're fine. We are fine, but we don't have results. If we don't get results, we have to keep working. Exactly. There was a really interesting quote. Where's he gone? He talked about the size of the squad. He said, it's made me reflect that maybe you need a squad of 25 to 30 players. It would be more difficult financially for the club, but today we're going to play the Club World Cup in summer for 3 weeks, starting in the Premier League, and maybe we have to have more depth of squad. That's a really interesting quote, that, for me. Like, Guardiola's essentially admitting there's nothing wrong with not coming to that conclusion a little bit late, by the way, or not at all, because you have to try it until you find it. Like, I would never use the collective wisdom of the fandom to base an opinion on. Like, we don't know more than Guardiola. We don't know the expectations. And just because we said something and it came true, it doesn't mean, therefore, we have any authority. We're just fans making guesses. And I will always trust the professionals to try something first. And if they made a mistake and they want to correct it, it's fine. But they've got a right to try and make a mistake, is what I'm getting at, you know? So I feel it's a really interesting bit of quotes that I would suggest that says a lot for January. He said right now, though, he said, now we cannot compete. We can survive. It's time to survive, stay there, be closer than ever, and sooner or later the players will come back and to qualify the last 16 will not be easy, but qualify. Yeah, I agree. I've been saying for a long time, we've just got to get to January right now. Hopefully sign 1 or 2, get some players back, and see where we go. Like, right now, look, the situation... He's talked about, the situation with injuries. He said, when I have 3-4 central defenders, I don't need central defenders. When I have Kovacic and Gundo, I don't need replacement in that position. When I don't have wingers for the injuries, the injuries that we had this season, I need wingers. When Erling Haaland is away, I have Oscar Bob and Phil Foden to play there, and we'll have the same goals. If you tell me these players will be fine in positions, we need that. We go transfer market, but I don't know which one it is, blah, blah, blah. He's basically talking about how he needs his players back. But he's also mentioned maybe a need for a bigger squad. So the only problem is Rodri. We knew it from the beginning. We are playing this season without the best player, the Ballon d'Or, and without the best player in England last season, with Phil playing 4 or 5 games, but no more than that at his best. Yeah, some people took that out of context, said he's not playing. He is, but not at his best. Basically, he says Phil needs to find his form. Said, not one team can play without central defenders, without the Ballon d'Or winning, the best player in the Premier League all season. Of course, it's difficult. We have to do better, sure, absolutely. But he's right to point this out. He talks about Jack playing different positions. He talked about Kanji's injury. He said he's got discomfort in the area of the pelvis, the abductor. Adductor, according to SE Extra. Said he's made an incredible effort playing at Bournemouth when him and Nathan were not even half at their best. This is the thing, man. Like, we presume these players are fit because they're playing. They are not. They are pumped full of medicine or whatever and patched up and bandaged up and told to get out there with painkillers. Like, they're tired. They're knackered. They're broken, you know? He said, I don't know what to do about the defenders. I need players. We'll see what happens today and tomorrow. When the players we have, and we'll see about it. Maybe some wingers have to play as fullback. Or maybe Mateus can play as fullback. Or maybe play with 5 at the back with wing backs as wingers. I don't know. He doesn't know what to do. Right now, I get it. Like, we're so down in the dumps right now. He defended Haaland. Says, I don't know where we'd be without Haaland right now. Fair, he's right to defend that. He defended Ake's injuries. He said, like, he's constantly... I mean, this is the reality. He said 3 days later after being on the table and massage 1.5 months out injured. He played 90 minutes. He's injured again. Training 1.5 days. Recovery sessions, 90 minutes and 90 minutes. He's basically saying the players just can't do it. And that's the reality of the situation. I do wonder if Guardiola will have a hard conversation with himself about the fitness of some of these players, the reliability of some of these players. Look, even with a big squad, Stones and Ake get injured anyway. They just do. This is what they do. They get injured, unfortunately. And some players are more injury prone. So we've got to be realistic about our expectations there, you know. And I do feel like we can't ignore that some players are more injury prone. And we've got a fair few of them when you add Kevin De Bruyne into that. Kovacic is always down for an injury. Doku down for an injury. Oh, injury. You know what I mean? Always set for an injury. Doku as well. And, you know, it's a lot. He talked about he doesn't want to leave, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he did say, which was quite scary. He said, listen, if I'm losing and losing for one more month more losing, I will say, guys, someone else has to come fix this kind of things because it cannot be eternal. Because I said, you have to be honest, still, I didn't feel to get out. That's like interesting, that, because he's basically saying, if I keep losing for another month, I might tell people to come and fix it. What is he saying there? I don't like that. I don't like that at all, Pep. I'm sure the Chaldean would chat to him in that instance, you know? So, yeah, basically, this is where we're at right now. It's one of those things where I don't envy the situation Guardiola's in. Oh, thank you, by the way. Adel in the chat said congrats on the pregnancy. You didn't realise, by the way, I put on Twitter yesterday. Nicola said thank you. There we go. A bit of personal breaking news there. Me, Nicola, and Ruben are expecting another little boy. Yeah, so Nicola's been coming up with videos and like hiding a bump. It's been there, so yeah, there we go. What I was gonna say is, so when you wonder why I've been a bit tired on videos and knackered, it's harder for Nicola. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it isn't. It's because I've sort of been doing a lot of the tidying so Nicola can rest at night, and that's why I've been so tired recently. That's why as a family we're knackered. So yeah. So there we go. Yeah, we're having another kid. Ruben's amazing. There we are. There's our little bean there next front of our Christmas tree, and there we go. We're having another kid, so that explains why I've been a bit sketchy with the videos because. Sorry? Yeah, it's another boy. Yeah, another little boy. I'm building a football team. One of them's got to play for City. Come on, the odds are decent there. You'd think so. So that's my life right now. Me, Nicola, and Ruben got a little bump developing, and there we go. So I've done my 90 seconds of contribution. 90 seconds, mate. That's very generous. That's half that. At least I can prove I've had sex twice now. So there we go. Boom. That's all you can say, right, as a bloke. Anyway, yeah, so that's my little bit of personal news there. We've got a baby on the way, and we're delighted because Ruben is our best friend. He's the funniest little boy in the world. You can see his little face there. He's full of character, and he's a little legend, and he makes us laughing every single day. And another little one, yeah, can't wait, mate. Can't wait. I'm buzzing. So thank you very much, everyone. It's been lovely reading all the messages. Too many to reply to. I can't reply to them all, so thank you very much if you're one of the people who replied. Let's go back to the game. So this is what SofaScore predicted the lineup would be. I don't think it would be that, actually, personally. It could be. It could be that. What do you guys think the lineup will be? I think Simpson Pusey won't play. I think Vardial will play. And I think it'll be... So there's no Rico Lewis. There's no Nathan Ake, no Oscar Bob, no Rodri, no John Stones, and no Akanji. Do we think Kovacic and Foden come back in? This is very hard to predict this. Like, I don't think Simpson Pusey will play. I think it might be Mateus Nunes at left back, you know, which is wild to say out loud, but I think it might be something like this. I think Ortega starts again. I think it could be Nunes, which is crazy because Guardiola hinted at it. Vardiol, Diaz, Walker, which is not a good back line at all. But what else is it going to be? What else is it going to be? Ruben after Ruben Amorim. Look, I'm going to be honest, mate. I'd never heard of Ruben Amorim, but when I named my son Ruben 2 years ago, it was after Diaz, mate. So there we go. United fan in the chat there. But he spells it the right way, Ruben Amorim. I'll give him that. So, you know. I had heard of Ruben Amorim, I think, but it was Ruben Diaz. Let's be honest. That was the first touch point there. So not named after Ruben Diaz, just the first touch point. Haaland's going to start. KDB is going to start. I think Kovacic will play, you know. I want to see Kovacic play. Well, I don't know. It's really hard to predict this. Silva on this side, maybe. Bernardo's played left back before. He has done. Do you know what? I really can't call this team because KDB is going to play, obviously. He'll be there. I think it might be Grealish out wide on the left for once. But I can't see Foden not playing. If Foden's available, surely he plays. But then, what about this maybe? Maybe he'll play this. Silva, Kovacic, Foden on the right. Because I feel like he wants something more solid. Something like this maybe. It could be Doku. It could be Grealish on the left. I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be really hard. But I can't see him not playing Gundogan. It's really, really hard to predict this. I've got no idea. This is why I'm going to do a team news reaction later. But I've no idea what he would do. I think this is something like I would probably like to see. Something like, well, at least the front six there anyway. Maybe Doku over this side. It could be Savinho could get a start. I don't think so. I don't think Vardiol's going to play in the Rodri role. No. I don't think Vardiol can play there yet for what it's worth. I don't think Vardiol is aggressive enough defensively. I think his form is a bit too up and down, and I don't think he yet has the engine and the 360 sort of vision. He's very much used to playing on the touchline, which requires only obviously like half the pitch to look at, but I don't think he has the spatial awareness for it yet. So I don't really see that. Maybe in time he could do, by the way, but I think it'll take a long time to learn that because he's never really played central midfield before. So I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, Kovacic might be too early, so it might be Gundo still. Foden could just play alongside De Bruyne like that. Silva could be out here. It could be that. Like sort of like this where, I mean, in this instance, I'm not seeing anyone coming to midfield at all. I have no idea, man. Jack Grealish at left back. It starts now. Jack Grealish dictating play from deep. Look, stranger things have happened in football. Guardiola also did say in the... let me try and find it. Did he mention the idea of playing three at the back? So if it was three at the back, what would it be? What would it look like? I don't even know how we play if it was three at the back. I don't even know. Like, how would we play it three at the back? Jack might play midfield as well, by the way, today. He might do. Maybe what if Jack goes in midfield here and Foden goes on the left? For more control or something like that? I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. This is how United apparently going to line up according to SofaScore anyway. United, something like that. Martinez, De Ligt, Mazraoui, Diallo and Delo out wide. Ugarte, Mainu, Fernandes, Garnacho, and Højlund. United in decent. Well, they had a good result the other day, but the actual performance wasn't great against Victoria Pilsen. You know, they had the better big chances, but you know, Højlund had to come off the bench to sort of save them. There's United's results. They did lose 2 games in a row before that. Forest and Arsenal. He beat Everton in his first game in charge, but I'm not sure we really read too much into that Everton game right now. The United are in a weird place where they're sort of finding their form still. A much changed side there, of course, to the one predicted with Malacia and Xerxes and Rashford and so on. Casemiro in the team there. Look, United, they will get better under Ruben Amorim. I know they're currently miles below. Like, where are the United? Where's the Premier League? Let's go back to the Premier League anyway. United are currently sat in 30. It's so weird, by the way, to be 15 games for a season and see United in 13. We're currently rocking the Europa League positions, which is crazy. If we win today, we'll be level on points with Arsenal, which is hilarious, by the way, given the run of form we've had. If we're level with Arsenal at the end of today, that would be just genuinely, honestly phenomenal. It'd be so funny. We'd only be 6 points behind Liverpool as well. They'd have a game in hand, but both of those sides dropped points yesterday. Look, I'm not even looking that far ahead. You know, we're not going to catch them. I don't feel like we are. But it just shows you that the season isn't thrown in the bin. We could somehow miraculously get players back. We're only 2 weeks from January. You know, a lot of things can happen. Form can switch very quickly. It would be a good start today to win. You know, we just find a way to win today. Like, I'm not overtly confident at all. I really am not. I'd be lying if I said I was. You know, United are going to be aggressive. All I'm hoping is that there's just, like, Haaland and Foden get pumped up for a derby. They always do. They always play well. And I think Phil, as a City fan, he's had a poor start to the season. I'm really, really, really hoping that Phil can use this game as a springboard for his own personal redemption so far, because he's just not found his form. I want Phil to do his classic 20 yards from the goal, turn around, put it in the top corner. Just anything like that today would be massively appreciated from Phil, because we need it. I've got no doubt Kevin De Bruyne will turn up, because he always does when we need him. Haaland, I expect to be fired up today. And it does feel like a long time since our last game. It wasn't, but there's been a few days. It's been a little bit quieter. Obviously, I know they've been travelling and resting, but, you know, I'm hoping more than anything that the players have some sort of reaction today. I'm not confident. I'm not. My head says a draw. I don't think we'll lose today. We might lose, but my head says a draw. I think it could be really boring. It could be like a 0-0. Someone said 0-0 in the chat earlier, and I think that's very possible. But my heart says City win today, you know. 2-1 or something like that. But maybe I'm just being optimistic, because I think the defence is so weak. If Kovacic is playing instead of Gundogan right now, maybe Bernardo and De Bruyne, I'd be a lot more relaxed, because I think that's a much more balanced midfield. Kovacic, I think, is our most informed midfielder this season, and he's not even incredible Kovacic. You know, he's a very good player, but says it all. It's just the defence I'm worried about, because we're going to play probably Nunes at fullback, Guardiola alongside Diaz, and he's not in his best form. Rico obviously suspended. Kyle Walker's Kyle Walker right now. He's having a stinker of a season, sadly for him. It's not good, and I think United do have quality in things like Amad Diallo, and Højlund is physical. He'll find some space. Bruno Fernandes is always good against us. I don't know if Rashford will play, but he's always good against us too. I mean, we'll see. I'm still hopeful. But we'll see, guys. Anyway, I'll see you later for the watch along. I'll be live in 4 or 5 hours from now. I'll be live for the team news as well. In a bit. Come on, you Blues. Bye-bye.